Hey, this is Bruce Housley. I come to talk about California fires tonight. My last video I talked about political stuff and stimulus checks and kind of how that's going. Well, I'm also concerned about, the California fires and what's actually happening in that situation there, what's going on there. I mean, these fires are just raging out of control, man. These are infernos, This is unbelievable. There's people dying, people's losing everything they've ever worked for all of their life. I mean, to hear about it on the news and say, you hear the news say, we lost 3 people over here in a fire and they lost everything they own, and then they show the person on the screen crying a little bit and that's it, And you go, man, that's too bad for them. Well, let's really think about that for just a minute. Could you imagine working your whole life, putting your blood, sweat, and tears into everything that you have? Your whole life is just gone in one night. Everything you've worked for. And you say you lose a kid, or wife, or husband, for political gain for someone? Destroy everything that Americans have worked their whole life for? That is devastating. Just for an agenda? To move people in a state like California to get more Democrats there? Because that's what's happening. I don't know if Antifa's involved, but let me tell you something. Somebody is. Somebody's setting those fires because they're too outrageous for there not to be happening like that. They're burning Pacific areas. They know where to start the fire, and then the fire goes to a certain location that they're trying to burn down. They know it's going to do it. Oh, the wind's blowing to the east. What's to the east that we want to get rid of? Because they probably have this all mapped out, So they set the fire in a certain spot, and they know it's going to go over there and burn it. And then who knows where else it's going to go, because everything is dry in California. It's crazy. I lived in California for 25 years of my life. And I remember we had fires, and they were put out abruptly. They were put out fast. Nothing like this. In all of the history that I can ever think of that state, we've never had nothing like this. Maybe one gigantic fire burned a bunch of stuff, but then it was put out, and that was the end of it. Might have been another little one here, another little one there, but they were put out fast. This fire that's happening right now is on purpose. I didn't need to see the news that's going around right now to know it. I remember the fires 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I can't quite remember, but even then, I said, this is not right. Something's wrong. These fires aren't acting right. Because I was looking at where this one started, where that one started. No. Man, fires don't burn like that. Usually fires start in a location and then they go until there's nothing left and they die. These fires are starting in all kinds of different locations. They're coming together, creating a big inferno and burning some more stuff down. Fire doesn't work like that. Fire goes in one direction usually. If the wind shifts and starts blowing the other way for a while, sure. Okay, sure. But still yet, whatever way the wind's going to blow is the way the fire's going to go. Not it's going to start over here, one's going to start over there, and one's going to start over here when the wind ain't even blowing that direction. Come on now. It don't take a scientist to realize that these are on purposely set. It doesn't take a scientist to know that. I'm a regular person. I'm not quite regular, but I'm pretty regular. I do some studying on things. I kind of know how things work in the world, I'm 47 years old. I've been around a little while. I'm not old, but I'm working on it. And I kind of know how things go, and these fires in California, man, this is definitely not the way it goes. Not anything I've ever seen in my life. There's no way. There's just no way. So, needless to say, we know that it's on purpose, okay? I know at least that much. Now, who's doing it? What would gain someone by doing this? Who would gain by it? Let's see. Would the Army gain by it? Nope. Can you think of anybody that would gain by it? What's happening? Let's look at the facts. What's actually happening? Fires are burning people out of their homes. That's what's happening. And those people are relocating. And most of the time, they're located in a different state because they've had it. They've just had it. You know, they'll move to another state, relocate, they're gone out of that state. And we ain't talking about 20, 30 people. We ain't talking about 100 or 200, 300 people. We're talking about thousands of people moving. Some of them are moving just because of the smoke. You know? Whoever's doing this knows that's what they're going to do. They know they're going to move from the inconvenience of it all. I mean, some people, man, their allergies are so bad they have to leave. You know, there's a lot of people that leave for that reason. You know, some people are just so sick of it all they just go. You know, it's mind blowing. My opinion, who I think's doing it, is Antifa. I think Antifa's doing it. I think that it's a political move to get people to move out of the state so they can move the people in the state that they want there that they know is going to vote for them. You know, you grab some people from Mexico, you grab some people from who knows where, you know, whoever wants to come over here. It ain't just Mexico, it ain't just, you know, those people wanting to get over here. There's people all over the world that wants to get over here. And if they can clear out some space for them, they can move them over here in masses. Masses. Give them a driver's license, give them an ID card, set them right up, and you know, they're going to probably vote Democrat. A 90% chance they're going to vote Democrat. Yeah. Because that's who's helped them. That's who did it for them. I'm not trying to go against Democrats. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I was kind of liking President Trump for a long time. I really thought that he was there for us and he was going to do everything for us. But the more I watch, the more I see that he's just like everybody else. He does just about what everybody else does. Now, let's think about this for a minute. I'm only going to talk about stimulus for a minute because that's not the topic that I want to talk about today, but this is an example. There's $300 billion in an account that they're saying they just found. They didn't, though. They knew it was there. Said it in my other video. The stimulus checks could have been sent out 2 months ago to everyone, to help everybody out. Now, there was some executive orders. He did some executive orders. He got some extensions on some things, yes. But these stimulus checks could have been sent out long ago. But what's he doing? He's sitting on them. Not the Democrats. Him. He can do an executive order any day he wants to. The man knows how bad people are doing. He knows they're in dire straits. What's he doing? He's sitting on the money. He's sitting on it. Okay? He could send it out anytime. What's he waiting for? The re-election. He knows it's coming. He knows that if he can put some money in your pocket, he knows you're going to vote for him. 90% chance, just like the Democrats moving people in their state and helping them out, setting them up with a house, a car, a job, or money from the state, welfare, whatever. They're going to vote for the Democrat. I mean, most people on Social Security and welfare vote Democrat because they're so scared they're going to lose that check. They're not going to have no way to survive and this and that and other. So, you know, some of them, you can't blame them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking on anybody. You can't blame them because they have disabilities. They ain't going to have the money to pay for those medicines. They're not going to have the backing they need to take care of all their bills if they're disabled, for sure. So they know to keep that check and to you know, keep that way of life. The only way they probably could survive anyway is to vote Democrat. So they do. You know, I would never give up my what do you want to call it? My freedom for money. I think that freedom is worth more than anything. You know, you bring in a check, you live on that check. If it all of a sudden was gone, what would you do? If you're disabled, what would you do? man, you'd have to move in with somebody, your whole life would change. You know? If you lost it, so you're going to vote Democrat. I would rather lose my check. I would rather be having to live with family. I would rather... I'd give up anything for my freedom, because when your freedom is taken from you, you have no life. There's nothing left. They tell you when to get up. They tell you when to get dressed. They tell you where you're going to live. They tell you everything that you're going to do. And if you don't do it, they have the power just to cut your income off. Then what are you going to do? There you are. You lost your freedom for money. Anybody that's going to be sold, just sold themselves for a check, ought to be ashamed of themselves. And I understand at the same time. I understand. How would they survive without it? If you have one, though, and you lose your freedom, what's the point? What's the point, man? You have no control over your life. You have no power anymore over your own self. Yeah. Who wants to live like that? I don't. I'd rather suffer a little bit to have my freedom. If my illness kills me because I can't take my medicine, at least I die free. You know? I die free. Instead of being told every little move I can make, and what I can buy and what I can't buy, and who I can marry and who I can't marry, and, you know, do I have to give away my 9-year-old daughter to somebody when she's just a baby? I mean, let's just say that that law took over. What's that called? Muslim law or whatever? I forgot the name of it right now. The Quran laws. Imagine if we were under those. Happen to see your 7-9-year-old daughter go off and get married to a full-grown man, and he can do with her whatever he wants. Could you imagine? If we keep stepping back and selling, stepping back and voting Democrat, stepping back and voting wrong, what are we doing? We're selling our freedom. I'm not trying to bash on Democrats, man, but look, I've studied both of them significantly because I want to really know what side I need to be on. I've studied so much both sides that now I'm not either side. But I still lean more toward not Democrat, okay? I still lean more toward the other way. Because it's freedom, man. It's the American way. It's, you know, if I want a gun, I should be able to have a gun. You know? If I want to go on a vacation, I should be able to go on a vacation. This whole lockdown thing, the Democrats are just loving it. Because this is exactly the lifestyle they want to give you. Look, you stay home, you mind your own business, and we'll send you a check. We'll totally take care of you, unless you do one thing they don't want you to do. And they'll cut that check off, cut your medical off, and there you'll be because you broke the law. Their law. I don't live like that. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it. And I'm not even going to get into an abortion topic right now and some of the stuff that, you know, they believe in that area. I mean, that's going to be another video. But that's bad news right there too, man. Killing babies at full, almost, I mean, they are ready to be born. They pull their body out, okay? Only the head is stuck in the vagina. And they take a razor blade and cut the back of the neck if their medicines and their stuff didn't kill the baby. They can't fully born it because then it's alive, and they're trying to actually pass it where they actually have 10 days after that. And they'll slice the back of that baby's neck till it dies while it's still in the mother, so it's not considered born. Can you believe that? How did we get here? I can tell you how we got here. Stepping back and selling. Stepping back and selling. That's how we got here. Giving up our rights. Nobody has the balls to stand up no more. Nobody has the balls to look at evil in the face and say, hey, you've gone far enough. And then they get their little demons and stuff underneath them, you know, convincing them, oh, you get these rights. You're a woman. You should have the rights to kill kids. You should have these rights. Man, that ain't no right. That's murder. It's murder, man. Come on. You're killing a baby. Are you not? Is it heart? Is the heart not beating? Just because it ain't all the way born yet, man, that thing's alive. Can you imagine? But that's another video. I'm not going to get into that right now. But these fires in California, man, this is definitely on purpose. God be with everyone out there that's suffering from all of this. I hope that we find the perpetrators, and I hope that we put them in jail. I want to see justice done. People losing their whole lives. This is just not right, man. This is not right. This is not the American way. This is a takeover by someone. Bet you can guess who. Come on now. We got to get it together. We got to stand up. And there's a lot of people standing up. There's a lot of towns, people walking around with guns protecting their stuff. And guess what? Those towns that stood up and got their guns out, guess who didn't show up to their towns? Yeah, that's right. Antifa, Black Lives Matter that they're hiding underneath and all that crap. They didn't show up in them towns. No, sir, they did not. Because they stood up the American way. And that's what we need to remember how to do. Anyway, I'm not trying to promote a war. I'm not trying to get anybody to do anything crazy. I would never do that. But we need to come together somehow and figure out how to stop this. It might not necessarily have to be violence. It might just need to be show some balls. You know, show that you ain't gonna let it happen like they did in those towns, man. They got guns. They showed them they weren't gonna let them come over there, and they didn't. They didn't go to them towns, man. And people weren't gonna have it. They weren't gonna let that happen. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I can't sit here and say, love you guys, I hope you'll have a good day, because I don't know a lot of you, but as brothers and sisters of humanity, I love you. I want to see everybody have a good life, and I want to see everybody continue to be free. Let's don't give our freedom away. Let's keep it. If you got to get up in the middle of the night and you got to go out by your house and out by the roads and stuff to make sure there ain't nobody setting no fires, then do it! Don't be lazy. Don't lay down and die, man. Get out there and find out what's going on. Put a stop to it. You know, do what you got to do. These people need to be stopped. Don't forget who we are. We're red-blooded Americans. Never forget who you are. You have more power than you think you do. We don't have to lay down and just give it all over like this. Alright, man, I want everybody to have a good day. I'm done with my rant. Be good.